is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft. As always, we'd like to come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
What do we got out here? Well, we're off 25 points. We were off, another 9. We bounced a little out here. We may have found kind of a small bottom for the day. Again, of course, if you don't get, probably 10 points higher by the end of the day, more likely you're going to sell off into the close because, of course, a lot of people are going to be leaving tomorrow. So do you want to be sitting on it? Or do you want to walk out the door? Now, they're going to try to probably ramp it now. And the question is whether or not they've got any juice to do so. Ideally, if you're bullish, the thing you would like to see is them wash everybody out today. You would not want to see some kind of bounce come into this market. You'd love to see everybody just squeezed out through the through Friday's close. And, of course, a lot of people on margin these days, especially in the hedge fund business. So did they get squeezed out already? I don't think so. I think there's still some people out there to get squeezed. And I thought maybe the low would come in today. But we need something like we had the other day where it literally sold off all the way into the close. That's how you know people are continuing to sell and they're gone, that they're not just waiting for the next day to sell into a pop. So you want some kind of squeeze, a lower test the next morning, and then a decent pop. There's just not much going on here. Volume is telling you one thing, and that this downside is real and in a big way. 2.4 billion shares as we start the show. And again, this is the kind of market where, you can have a third of the volume in the last 5-10 minutes. So again, I'm going to wait till the end of the day. You've got plenty of volume now, so it doesn't need any more. But if we have kind of the end of day that we normally have out here, this is going to be a huge monster day down with volume. So we'll keep an eye on that. I put a couple of buy orders in, one for one of the short positions. We have one for one of the ETFs. And, kind of came off the high a little bit. Maybe it doesn't happen today. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of late day action out here today or even tomorrow that drives us below 2,400 before we get a bounce of any significance. That's kind of where I put my orders in already. Now, I know a lot of people are, we've got to buy, we got to buy, we got to buy. But we've already seen 3 of those kind of repel today, 2, 3. I think I've seen 3 rally attempts thrown away. Normally, after that third, you're going to sell off into the close. So I don't see anything out here that says that this is over. If you had a real washout below 2,400, either way, I thought probably by 2 o'clock, this would be over. But this is a lot more bearish than even I was thinking. And I was the biggest bear that you could find, the polar bear. Yeah, see how that works? Path of least resistance is what it stands for. But anyway, we're at 24.15. We blew through everything. Anything below 24.33 was a victory for me today. Anything below 24.21 is a huge victory for the Bulls. And, this is the kind of 12-0 route in a baseball game that everybody starts leaving in the third inning, kind of big deal. So anyway, you've got that. You've got some big moves off here. We haven't had it for a while, but we should have it. And that is a Dow day that's down 500, 600, 700 points. And that's still lurking in the offing out here. So I wouldn't get too situated on any kind of bounce. But we're also going to talk about how highly short stocks operate. We're going to look at a chart of one. And if you ever wondered why your stock does not act properly, a lot of times that is the reason. There's just too many shorts. But I will probably tell you or show you a stock where anybody that is short this thing is probably screaming today for no good reading and doesn't know why and where they went wrong. But we'll talk about that. And I guess the next thing is to get into a little history.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is history repeating on this day in 1979. The automobile industry sputters and dies. Technology industry takes off. The editors of the Wall Street Journal boot Chrysler from the Dow Jones Industrial Average, replace it with IBM. And the healthcare is growing faster than the food industry. Merck replaces S-Mark. Who even remembers what S-Mark was? Bueller? 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 We'll go back to the market in progress.
I've seen better days. I've been so minutes. I've seen better days.
And that's what happened today. The bottom dropped out. So that'll be the theme song here on our pullback. What else do we have? Oh, I wanted to look for. Oh, I know what I wanted to look for. I just need to go up and find it. That's why. Okay, that's not it. Documents, TFNN, chart, stock list, NASDAQ 100. Let's go through. We went through this about halfway, so I wanted to go back and go through a great deal more of this. We'll start on the opposite end of the spectrum here with the Yahoo, who's no longer Yahoo, is it? So that's it. Okay, let's take that one off because it's really not Yahoo anymore. It's whatever that bizarre name they gave it. I wanted to look at some other ones out here. Dental Supply, this one that tested the previous high within about 18 cents yesterday. The May 8th high, $65.68, 2.2 million shares. Came in with 1.8 million shares and has rotated lower today. Now let's get into the semis. Wanted to talk about this. And this is what we've been talking about, the 3x3s, the triple highs out here on no volume. All these stocks were giving very clear and unambiguous signals that these things were headed lower. And we talked about kind of a thing that was a Bob Carver pattern that he calls a, I kind of said it looks like a contact lens over the chart. He calls it a polytrend top. But this is kind of what we're looking at out here, and it goes along with that 3x3 break in a lot of these stocks. So anyway, down today, not a lot of volume in Xilinx, but again, most of these semiconductors have been headed down with some juice. I think we're going to probably find that low here shortly in the next day or two. But I can't imagine that we're going to bounce into the long weekend. We looked at Whole Foods. We're going to look at Western Digital when we come back. Vertex. What else do we have out there? Ultra. Got a lot of these stocks that looked like they were popping earlier in the week. We're going to see how they did. But I'm thinking lower. Much lower.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we'll look at Western Digital real quick. This, of course, popped again. It's had an ongoing war with the Shiba. It's down a little today. Volume hasn't picked up just quite yet. WBA, which is Walgreen Boots Alliance. This one had kind of a major reversal out here today. I got up to 81.34. Pretty much filled all that gap, so not much happening out here. Vertex, this one making what looks like a 3 drives to the top pattern, back on a little bit of juice out here. VRSK, which is Veritas Analytics. Not much in this one either, down a little bit. Let's take a look at Ultra Salon. This one's come off after a break higher that pretty much instantly failed above the 301.40 level for May 9th. ULTN. This one's back down to lower prices. Actually not bad looking on this one. Still dislike retail. My guess is that Amazon will find some way to go after these guys in the next week or so, as they seems like every week they find some way to go after someone. That looks like a piece of low-hanging fruit tailored for Amazon to go after. Texas Instruments, again, all these semis, pretty hard day down. Not so much juice in this one, 3.5 million shares so far. You know, can you get the volume at the end of the day? You could. So you want to keep an eye on it. My guess, though, like I said, is it's going to be hard to buy any of these until you at least go down and tag 2,400 on the S&P cash. And my guess is that you go down to 2,390 before the first significant bounce comes into the market. There'll be a lot of people wanting to buy that under 2,400 level, and they'll run probably all the stops for people wanting to do that a couple of times, and then maybe you get your close back above. But I've been thinking for a long time we're headed back down to 2280. We'll see just how much evidence we get to support that in the near future. Tesla, we've been watching this one for a while. Certainly looks like the volume is now coming in to the downside. Was very interesting to hear the mayor of Chicago, who's broke, in the state of Illinois that's broke, talk all about Blue Sky putting tunnels in down to their major airport, which on the surface sounds like a great idea. Guess what is the most expensive way to move people per foot by a factor of 3? Bueller. It's building an underground tunnel. So the people that can afford it least are going to probably try to pay the most for moving people. Don't quite understand how you're going to get broke people to buy anything. The state and the city are all but washed up. It's the murder capital of the world, but we're going to have tunnels underneath. Always interesting. The reason it's so expensive to build tunnels like that is every little while you've got to build a shaft back up to the surface so people can get out in case anything like a car catches fire, a bunch of other stuff like that. It's just, if it's the only way to do it, like through a mountain or something, sometimes it makes sense. But even then, you don't want anything very long. And it's always the most expensive way to do anything. But, all he has to do, Mr. Musk, is say something, and people bow and scrape like he is Einstein. He may be a pretty smart guy, but what I figured out is he is more than smart. He's smarter than politicians that want to throw huge amounts of cash at him for pretty flaky ideas. So, wouldn't be bad to be him. Don't think so. Never mind. It's just amazing to see people come up with the wackiest, most expensive ideas in the world. And, of course, politicians tend to be a pretty stupid bunch. Not uncommon. Tractor Supply may look like this thing might have found some bottom, especially that it wasn't able to move down and lower with the rest of it. May 24th, you saw 3 million shares at 52.85. This thing's been dancing around out here. It's way off its highs. The question is, if there's a retail organization besides Home Depot that seems to be Amazon resilient, I think maybe Tractor Supply could be, just because they're in the kind of places that there isn't many other places to go to begin with, i.e. a lot of country locations. TripAdvisor, no real significant movement in this one, fairly light volume. T-Mobile, now this one along with Apple today, not having a good day. Volumes picked up more than yesterday. Certainly not as bad as the 10 million shares down 2 days ago when this thing fell apart. Very minor bounce yesterday. It continues lower today. SYMC, looking at this one out here, a little lower out here. Again, we're going to get into some light volume tomorrow. I can't imagine a lot of people wanting to be a hero, as Billy was said, to not be one. Don't be a hero going into this weekend. I still think we're just going to, probably the most bullish thing you could see was this thing go down on very light volume tomorrow, maybe into the close to go test the low of 2405, maybe even 2400. But we'll have to see. My guess is that the bulls will not be deterred. They must and have to buy. They'll feel like they're going to die if they can't buy this dip. And they will not have any discipline. They won't even be able to wait a few days. They'll buy it, get washed out, buy it, get washed out a few times. Skyworks Solutions, again, we talked about Apple. I'll look at that next. Down today, volume's okay. Again, a third of the volume's coming in at the end of the days now, so we're really going to need to wait later in the day. Is it okay? Volume's good. Certainly on the broad markets, we're already through 2.5 billion shares, so it's going to be a big day. Question is just how much of that volume is going to come in at the end of the day. Skyworks Solutions actually coming back into this sign of strength. But as I said before, so many of these stocks now are coming back to where these double gaps occurred. In this case, it's at 83.50. I think you could easily see that. I've said for a while that I think Apple's coming back to 125. Let's go back and do this out here. Okay. We are at that level right now. You had what, 72 million shares back on June 16th. You got 22 million shares today so far. So you're probably going to be a little light out here. See, maybe you're ready to get a little bounce out of Apple. Maybe that happens next week. You get that kind of small bounce. But my guess is that you're looking at this double gap at 122 by the end of the summer. What do we have out here with Seagate Technology? This one I thought was at least coming back to this gap at double gap at 40. It blew through that. It's now coming back lower. These disk drive companies are in real trouble. Besides Seagate, Western Digital, they all have various problems. But the only thing they have selling right now is 10 gigabyte drives. They make pretty good money on that. But Western Digital and Seagate not making much of anything on its other drives. SSDs are really starting to hit them. We'll be back after this.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Trading is different than investing, but the opportunity to take advantage of short-term trends is only one if you get the direction right. Direction leveraged and inverse ETFs offer bold trades on U.S. and international stocks and bonds. Direction leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Well, let's take a quick look at Microsoft. As I said, I thought this thing was coming back to 66 bucks. I think we got it today. Now, there isn't a whole lot of volume going into this previous June 12th low. You had 49 million shares, $68.13. We breached that today with 20 million shares. So it's going to be a little lighter out here. Again, we got to look at the volume coming in the last part of the day. I still think that if you're thinking of a bullish market out here, I still think 66.50 is what you want to be taking a look at. And of course, a lot of times off the highs like this, volume doesn't come in for a few days. So keep an eye on for maybe next week where volume actually does increase on some of these coming off the highs. Facebook holding up better than most. It's down. Volume's about the same as it was yesterday. NFLX, take a quick look. This one's headed back down to its gap. 14 million shares on June 15th. You got 5 million shares here today. Still think you could get into that 146 level. But a lot of these look like no one's selling yet. So you may get some significant bounces. Let's take a look at Starbucks out here. This one has broken. And with not enough volume either. 25 million shares April 25th. 8 million shares on May 18th at $58 and 87 cents. So we've gone through that today. Volume is just a little off these highs out here. What else do we have? Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. Take a look at this one. This one's starting to come off the highs. Again, you just need, you're underneath it. So you really just need this thing to continue to stay under the 3x3. That one's selling lower. Qualcomm, it's kind of much staying pretty nice. $51.05 is the April 28th low on that one. PayPal. Now this one closed under the 3x3 2 of the last 3 days. My guess is you need this thing to come back to the $46 level, which I think you could see this summer. Price line, this one's getting ready to crack. I suspect next week we're going to get the close underneath the 3x3 today, unless something drastically changes. So keep an eye on that. And of course, tonight we've got the travel ban going into effect that affects about 250 people a day out of millions that fly every day. But I'm sure someone will try to figure out a way to blame that as the high in this market, but or at least in the travel market. But I don't think it has a lot to do with anything. PACCAR, Paychecks. Man, this thing did fall apart rather beautifully. And again, well underneath this, there's nothing in the sign out here that says this is broken. My guess is you're going to have enough volume by the end of the day to go through the May 17th, 2017 low. $56.57, 2.7 million shares. You got 2 million shares already. 700,000 does not seem like a stretch before the end of the day. O'Reilly, we thought maybe that this one had been headed down already, that maybe this one would be the first, if the markets are pulling back, to start finding a bottom. This was, what, $270 on April 24th. 215.91 low of today. No sign in this one yet. What else do we look at? NVIDIA. See how this little guy is doing today. Again, closed under the 3x3 a few days ago. It's continued to stay under the 3x3. The first buying opportunity on this is 135. Ideally, if you really think this is great, 105 down here is the next signal on that one. NetEase, we talked about this one breaking the 3x3, a pretty good signal a couple of days ago, down and follow through today with 1 million shares. NTAP, NTEAP, this one not doing much today, fairly light volume. This is a good day to figure out where you can separate the wheat from the chaff. We already looked at Netflix. Let's see what else we have. Maxim Integrated Products. Look at this chip manufacturer. Looks like 42.50 would be the first shot at that. Micron comes out after the bell tonight, if I'm not mistaken. So you don't want this thing to fail, or you're going to have a much bigger pullback in the stocks tomorrow than we've even had today. I suspect there is a problematic weakness with Micron out here. It has broken down lower, but we shall see. It's moved with the market. But my guess is that you are closing below the 3x3 out here. You have done a double repo pattern, so that is on a sell signal. I will not be playing that. Also, I will be gone tomorrow and Monday. I guess I'm back Wednesday. So I will be off the air. My newsletters will keep going, even though I'm not here on the radio. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. And, of course, you can always post a message in the den. What do we have out here? Mattel. Take a quick look at this guy. Anything in it? Now, it's actually bouncing a little bit. Some of these retail stocks are actually down so low that they're finally coming around. Marriott International, this is coming back into its gap up of 6.7 million shares, down with 1.4 million shares. Starting to see a theme out here, and that is as we've got back down, there are some stocks that look like they should have fairly significant support. Lam Research, we'll look at the IBB right after this. It's back into its gap from the 24th of April. That day had 2.2 million shares. You got 2 million shares now. My target for this one had been 130. I think we still have that. As I said before, a lot of these stocks that had been in tight trading ranges, we were looking for these things to do a head fake. I think we got that head fake in the IBB. And we're probably, I would not be surprised to see this thing head right back down to 295 again. And if it does, then you probably are looking at the 246.32 low of November 3rd coming at you in a hurry if the market continues to pull back. I think it could. Let's take a look at Intuitive Surgical. We'll do that too. Okay, you got the close under the 3x3 out here on Intuitive Surgical. Where does that take you back to? 8, if you're being the most generous, about 850. So this one could move back down $70 in a heartbeat. Ideally, if you were thinking about buying this thing for the next big run, you'd want about 775 on it. So there's maybe some big movement out here in some of these biotechs. Have a great vacation. Well, thank you, Jeffrey. Okay, Intuit, although TFNN hosts never sleep and never really vacation. Anyway, we'll be back in a minute. Look at a few more of these NASDAQ 100 stocks as we wait for the market to wind up and give us a decision. Maybe we got the low end for today. I just can't imagine a lot of people getting in front of this train before the weekend. We'll be back in a minute.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now, you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And we're back. Yeah, I still think that you could see a wild last 30 minutes of the day. Does it go higher? Like I said, it's tough for me to think. A lot of people want to get in the way of this freight train low. And you broke a lot of technical support in many of these stocks today. Energy still is very big, 2.6 billion shares. I think you're going to see that the SMHs are probably, and semis are probably pretty close to hitting their lows maybe tomorrow. And then maybe you'll get some kind of meaningful bounce. But then I suspect that the semis led the way up. They're now leading the way down. I think you get yet another, maybe they bounce out here, and then you start seeing some of the other sectors come on down, why the SMHs get a little bit of joy. At the beginning of the show, I said I'd take a look at some highly short stocks. The one that always interests me is Snap out here. The thing's about 50% short, and volume kind of really shrank below this, or right around the $17 level. But even on a horrible day like this, it seems like any stock that's highly short tends to move against you in a down market, at least for a while. And if you're not a big pro, if you're trading this thing on a daily basis, if you're short one of these things at the IPOs, you just think it's going to zero or whatever, that's great. But man, do you have to have a iron stomach and a lot of Rolex. Rolex? How do you spell relief? Rolex? Are those windows? Rolex windows? Rolex, that's what it is. You have to see those. Anyway, it is awful tough to be short a stock with 50% short interest in it. It's always one of those things you want to look at. Okay, so we're back up to where we kind of came down to at 24.21. Volume has really shrunk from the last 5 to 6 points up in the S&P. So we'll see how this comes in. We're 2.65 billion shares. If you're a bull, maybe a close above 24.21 is a small step in your favor. But again, I think it's going to be very tough to get out in front of these tomorrow going into a long weekend. Not a lot of people are going to, they'll be able to buy another day. And a lot of people are going to say, oh, fun buying, fun buying. Unfortunately, the fun buyers set sail probably, I don't know, an hour and a half ago out to the Hamptons. They are not back, and they won't be back till Wednesday. So if you're expecting some kind of juice from fun buying to come in, I don't think you're going to see it tomorrow. if you're looking for a big day, I think that, what is that? The 5th is probably it. Now, the way fund buying works is you have to be long the last 2 or 3 days or the first 2 trading days of the next week. And this is always trading days. So they have a little while. They could easily, which I'll be back on the 5th, they could easily come in here and start buying on the 5th. I would not be surprised to see a sizable bounce from fund buying. But my guess is they ain't doing nothing until they come back on the 5th. Don't expect a lot of money. And they don't get sent to prison if they don't buy on the 5th. You could see the 5th with a decent bounce and a little continuation, maybe even to the 6th. And then that's probably about as good as it gets. If you're thinking about shorting this market and are not short at the moment, those may be the next good days to go after it. Again, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, we'll look at a few more stocks out here. Let's take a look at Illumina in this stock. This one, of course, under the 3x3, closed back underneath it, down today. Not a lot of juice so far. Take a quick look at Google. Google looks like it's really set up to come down to 890. That's where I think we could at least get under this 2400 level on the S&P cash. But I don't think you set a low. You need 3.6 million shares for June 12th. I think you're probably going to come in with 3.5 million shares today on Google. So you're kind of in there. The gap up happened on 3.2 million shares, 2 million shares. That goes back to April 28th. And so you could have equal volume. Your first support level probably comes in at 890. So we'll keep an eye on that. What else? Gilead. Take a quick look at this one. Do we have anybody else? Okay, I'm just reading an email here. Okay, Gilead did bounce. You got the reversal out here. It basically filled this gap down from the 8th of February. Came down with 51.5 million shares. Got into it yesterday with 10 million shares. You're down today with 8.5 million shares. So you're going to at least double the volume. You had a nice big day up on the 22nd. That's going to be support. So look at 69.50 is the first level in that one. What else do we have out here? We looked at Fakebook. Fast, Expedia, take a quick look at this one. Last week, this was one of the stocks that we put out here as a poster child for these reversal spike days. It actually had a huge reversal day on the 9th, came back up, ran it one more time and reversed. We had so many of these last week, I went through them all, but those are the warning signs that a market is ready to pull back with some gusto for a more than just a week or so. That is that you may get a week or two. Normally it highs, and it normally means that you get 3 months of bad market weather. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us go into September still battling well below 2,400 on the S&P cash, even with some bounces. Okay, what do we have? eBay, and we looked at that one. It's closing under. Electronic Arts got downgraded today. This one looks like it could easily get back to $100. 2.7 million shares compared to 6 million shares on June 12th. So we'll see how that one comes in tomorrow. Dollar Tree. Yeah, this one's just bouncing a little bit off this low, back up to its gap down from the 16th. Don't see much in that one. Dish Networks, we haven't looked at this one in a while. Okay, so it solidly broke below the 3x3. So this is on a sell signal today. You got 59.83, which is the last low, and then 57.31. 57.31's got 5 million shares. It's probably the target on that one. CTXS, which is Citrix Systems. This thing has fallen apart, came back, tested the gap down twice, has rolled over solidly underneath the 3x3. I think you're going to come back and test that $70 24-cent low, which is February 1st of 2017. 5.7 million shares looks like a good setup. C-Trip. What do we have? C-Trip. Are we going to break? We are. We'll be back in a minute. Wrap up the show. Again, I'll be back next Wednesday. Subscriptions and newsletters continue as usual, and I will send updates out through tomorrow. But we're looking for some kind of washout to cover some of these shorts, or at least a few of the shorts that we put on Monday. We'll be back.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And subscribers to my newsletter will be able to get in on a big deal I'm doing on machine learning for traders, i.e. all the stocks and companies involved in it, what's going to happen, kind of a big executive briefing, not actually how to do machine learning for trading, actually how to trade the stocks that have machine learning components in it, what's coming out, the history of it, basically everything you need to know, the executive summary for trading those, and we'll have more details to come, but I think that's already set out for the 19th. Is that right? 19th of, yeah, the 19th of July. Any of my subscribers to either the Tech Insider or the daily Path of Least Resistance will be able to get in there. So start thinking about that already. We looked at C-Trip. We'll look at CSX. Trading out here at 24.19, 2.7 billion shares. So we've come down a lot of volume. Don't think there's much happening out here. A little reversal even on CSX today. This, the traditional brick and mortar railroad companies, that kind of stuff, look a little bit better than the tech stocks. It looks like they've started to find their way down. My thought is that we're probably going to see the rest of these stocks like CSX and those start really moving down in earnest next week. Cisco, this one, of course, fell apart, kind of just filled at least part of this gap to 32.50 on June 26. It's down today. Volume probably going to be in line with the last 4 or 5 days. Of course, going into a 3-day weekend, kind of expect lighter volume and expect lighter volume tomorrow. Expect a lot lighter volume. Costco, this thing tried to open higher, come back down. If you can get 155 on this, this may be an interesting stock, but I think the entire market is headed lower for a while. Charter Communications, that one's actually still looking kind of good. Again, I think a lot of these are going to come back, get a day or two on Wednesday and Thursday of next week. You get a little love, and then we might see the rest of these start heading down. We've got Baidu. This thing came off hard. It's still underneath. You broke the previous low of May 5th, 174.77. Did so with volume, and you at least need to come down and test the 173.52. There's a lot of problems with Baidu and Alibaba. Both of them have accounting issues, according to some of the bigger men on the street. But again, who's going to go to China and get just disappear one day by telling everybody that there's something wrong with it? Bed Bath and Below, of course, it blew up. Almost no bounce on here. Vago, we'll get to this one and wrap up the show for the week. Again, Apple continues to look fairly weak. Any of these stocks around it tend to be weak. Sales pretty weak in Samsung products, but a lot of people are extrapolating that into even Apple's next version of their product, and Apple possibly missing this Christmas season for phone sales. It looks like a lot of people are not getting orders yet from Apple, and that has a lot of people on Wall Street kind of spooked, thinking that this whole sector in the smartphone business that has been holding everything up could go plop. Well, I guess that's it for this week and me. If you're a subscriber, look for, of course, the Tech Insider tomorrow on Friday. As always, I will have updates for everybody in the path of least resistance, even though I will be floating around in the ether. But in the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you next Wednesday. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.